Welcome back. We're here with our good friends at the Center for Wildlife.
Joining us live now is Executive Director Kristen Lamb and Gaia, the great horned owl. She's so beautiful.
Good morning.
Yeah, good
she
morning.
is. I know.
Yeah, and
it's just gorgeous.
her eyes especially are just striking.
Yeah, so owls have huge eyes. They have evolved to hunt in the nighttime, and so her eyes actually aren't even eyeballs. They are giant tubes that take up like 2/3 of her skull, and they go all the way into the back of her head, and they have a lot of cones, rods, and cells that allow them to see. Like, they basically have nighttime vision. They can see heat. They can see into the UV spectrum. They're just incredible.
Wow.
Sounds like he's like some kind of secret agent. He's got all kinds of tricks and tools.
Oh, exactly.
And, I mean, right?
Yeah.
Hey, let me talk about the one thing I just learned during commercial break. Guy's been on this show so many times, and I guess I wasn't listening or didn't pay attention. But those are horns and not a guy's ears. Talk about the difference.
Yeah, so the feathers, those tufts on top are actually, those are feathers and not her ears. The name for them is plumicorns, so that's a really fun vocab word for the day. And it's kind of just part of her camouflage as far as we know. We do see them move almost like cats, like put their ears back during different moods as well. But their ears are, owls have what's called a facial disc. And so underneath this circle here are where her ears are, and they're giant slits, and they're asymmetrical, as Katie pointed out. So when they're flying through the forest, they can actually turn their head and triangulate sound to where their prey is.
Yeah.
And they have silent flight. They have soft feathers that have this, it's called a fluted edge. If you can see right there, it looks like a comb. Yeah. So owls can move completely silently through the forest when they're hunting their prey.
What is her greatest strength, would you say?
So her talons.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Their feet. So they're using that great vision, that great hearing to find their prey. And then once they swoop down, prey can't hear them. And then they're using their talons, which have between 200 and 400 pounds per square inch of pressure in their feet. So it's very quick for their prey. They can actually take skunks. That's their #1 prey species. And so she's got a lot of, she doesn't use it because she's friends with us.
Right. Thankfully we won't be displaying that strength
we've
today.
Been caring for her since she was a baby, but just incredible power in those feet. They're called tigers of the night, actually.
What have you learned having Gaia since it was such a little bitty baby grown up now to a big owl?
Yeah, so Gaia was permanently injured. You can see her right wing sticks out a lot farther than her left wing. And she, great horned owls are just, by nature, they're very tough predators. They're hunting, they are dispersing right now, the young, and you hear a lot of calls. It's the which is played during spooky movies.
What did you say again? Who cooks for you?
That's the barn owl.
That's the barn owl.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, right. And that's how you can tell the difference between the two. And then they'll split up for like a month or two as a pair, and then they're coming back together in like the end of December. They start their courtship. So I just think it's amazing that they are so fierce. They're such good hunters. They're so good at what they do. They have great camouflage, but they all have personalities. And so Gaia lives with a male great horned owl. They're right next to each other. They're a bonded pair. When we first put her out, we didn't know if they would get along. She started preening the back of his head. It's like, I wanted to bring her today because there's so many, images and symbolism of bats and owls, and we have them living here in our backyards. And if we take away like the spookiness or even the fierce predators, they are living as couples in the forest. They're raising young in the middle of January during the harshest months. So they have a soft side, I guess, is what I have learned from Gaia from being with her.
And tell us real quick about the owl prowls and how special those are and when people can join those.
Yes, so owls are very vocal starting about now. They're establishing territory, and then they'll be talking to each other, doing courtship January through March. So we have an annual series called Owl Prowls, and we start that in November. And people can come to the center. We have many species of our native owls that people can meet up close. We've got cider, and it's a whole thing. And then after we meet our friends and learn about calls and practice calls, we'll go out into the forest and do those calls. And we often hear from the wild owls in the forest surrounding the center. And it's really cool because we have this group of humans that are out in the forest. Phones are away, and just the practice or the art of being silent and like not on your phone for like 10 or 15 minutes and interacting with the wild world is very special.
All right, so for folks that have never been to your place, tell them where they can go, maybe a website too, and where they can go see a guy up close and personal.
Yes, so we are in Cape Nettic, Maine, which is a village of York, Maine, right at the base of Mount Agamenticus, or about an eighth of a mile before their turn. And so it's 375 Mountain Road. Our nature center is open Thursdays through Sundays from 10 to 4. We're going to have more openings during school breaks coming up, holiday seasons. It's a great time to visit. We have a nature center with interactive exhibits, and outside in Village, Ambassador Village, where our friends live in sanctuary and people can see them up close in their habitats, and tons of trails, and you can really make a day of visiting the center.
You really can. All right, and check it out at the centerforwildlife.org. Kristen, great to see you. Happy Halloween, Gaia.
Gaia is so curious.
I know,
Right?
so calm.
We'll be right back with more Arc Maine.